So did you find it? Am I live? Hi. So girl with hat, put your hand up like this, the one you write with. Well, you're an artist, that's for sure. Real close to the vest, no one knows what you are. You're wearing that hat just to confuse people. Pretty much, you could hate the world, but you don't. You're such a love bunny that, I mean, if you were the angry girl, they would have to worry. But you're not. You're sweet and nice. Let's see your hand, the one you write with. Yep. Well, you're an honest girl. You do have passive aggressive tendencies. It's the really smart. Probably the smartest one here, except next to her. Definitely smarter than these two guys by a long way. But that's not saying much. Most guys are morons, and that's today's issue.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, baby. Check it out. So, subscribe, girlfriend.
Oh, you know I will.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Yeah, baby. Here we are at the upside down elevator room, my office. Hey there, Janie. Happy New Year. So, as I was driving here, on the last fumes of, you probably won't see me for a while because, the weather's going to go to being winter. And
What's going on over there?
what's going on over there?
You got internet connection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This is my office.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
The upside down room. The elevator music without the elevator.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's all good.
No?
As long as I'm breathing, it's all. And even if I wasn't breathing, it'd still be all good. It'd just be a little scary for you. Yeah, baby. Wait till I stop breathing. Anyway, so let's see. It's not going to be as wicked ass cold as it was last week. Last week was surreal. One evening, it was 60 minus, meaning 60 degrees below where water freezes, right? Minus 60, right? That's pretty cold. And inside the man cave, it was a balmy minus 20. Muzak, yep, Muzak. And I don't know if you've noticed that everything on your frigging screen is a commercial. There is no space they don't stick something in. And I would say this is the year where we're going to have a kerfluffle, right? So we have been pruned, primed, and ready to go since 1999. When Prince was singing "Dance Like It's 1999," and we were all scared. Oh, because of the Y2K. Oh my God. Woo. But if anyone knew anything about computers, all they had to do was dial up the clock and reset it like I do every time the time changes, right? So, wars, we're all, oh, Ukraine, oh, blah, 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 right? Well, in Ethiopia, in Tigray, Addis Ababa, that neck of the corner of the world, 600,000 people have died in 2 years. 6 million are going hungry, meaning they're just getting maybe 400 calories a day, if that, right? Over 1 million people have had a limb lost to a landmine, to a hatchet where they just cut an arm off. That's how they mark what tribe you were in. Right hand lost, you were in that tribe, right hand. That way you also, which hand do you shoot a gun with? Clip. So, and then, Palestine, come on. So the two countries really to be interested about is there's going to be a war between Afghanistan and China. That should be interesting. And there's going to be a war between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Now, that one will really be interesting because that are two large oil producers taking oil off the market, right? And basically, they're going to see how great, Iran's 20 grand lawnmower engine cruise missiles. I mean, when people realize how easy it is to make a cruise missile, everyone will have one, right? I mean, all that thing is made out of cardboard, a lawnmower engine, big gas tanks, so it can fly about 900 miles, give or take, and a cell phone. I mean, it's steering it, turn left at the next, So what's going to happen, that it should be really loads of fun, is that the Ukrainians are going to get from somewhere something similar, or they'll make it themselves. Right? They're pretty kind of cagey bunch, and they will start doing to Russia what Russia has been doing to Ukraine. And they already have started, right? And they're going to go after Crimea. Big time. You're going to take out that big bridge, like every square inch of it, right? So those little things, you start to shoot them down, And so, I mean, you're going to spend a, $6 million paper to shoot down a $20,000 piece of cardboard? No. Well, there's so many simple things to do that, but they're doing it on purpose. They're allowing everyone to. It's the best way for the Ukrainians to keep up the spirit of the Ukrainian people to hate the Russians. So, freezing, it's their fault. So, and the next, line of pandemic, because the one 19 was just a less deadly version of SARS one. So, anyway. So here it is, New Year's. Happy New Year. Those are nice glasses on you, girl.
Thank you.
They look good on you. Have you wore glasses your whole life? Me too.
Yeah.
I was murdered by a nun in first grade.
For what?
Murdered by a nun. She broke my voice box and crushed my larynx, broke the orbit in this eye so I don't see out of it, and broke the little stirrup thing in your ear so you can hear.
Oh, wow. So I'm glad you're alive. Nice.
Only made me stronger.
Yeah, wow.
Now I see out of this eye in ways that most people don't see. I can see your aura.
Really?
In this ear, I can hear, it's like Doppler radar. If I'm in the woods, I can hear things where they are. So and this, it made me more conservative with what I said. Because she was a real Nazi. She was a Nazi. She came from Germany. Did you ever hear that rat line?
The what?
Rat line. After World War II, or just before the end of World War II, the Catholic Church spirited 1 million Nazis, not German people, Nazis, like Werner von Braun, the nice Nazi who put us on the moon. And there's go Google a thing called Operation Paperclip. We brought 70,000 Nazis into our government. Werner was just a poster boy. He's a nice Nazi. He was good. It's nice. He's our Nazi. All our CIA, the NSA, all of that were Nazis. Go look at the National Security Act of 1947. That's when we stopped being America and started being Nazi Germany. Everyone's like, oh, right? It didn't start, but it went full bore in 1947. You ever hear of a guy named Noam Chomsky? He wrote a book called Manufacturing Consent. And Howard Zinn. You ever read Howard Zinn's American History? Now, there's one you should read. There's so many people you should read. None of the crap that you're reading. What are you going to this stupid school over here? That's stupid. What stupid crap are you learning?
I'm the marriage family here.
Ooh, I have a master's in social work.
Oh, yes.
I did that for many years. Get an MSW because you can then do anything. I mean, anything. I did everything. And that's really good. So good, I could get anyone out the door in 5 visits. And my boss, no matter what was wrong with them, and my boss would say, hey, how these people have great insurance. Slow down. I mean, you're really great at this. You know, we're going to put you on the board. You're going to be one of us. I said, what? You're going to be one of us. I said, no, I'm not. I quit. What? So I was at the zenith where I was heading for the big time, you know, like 200-300 grand, maybe $1 million a year. And I quit.
What'd you do?
Well, I always had 2 other things. You always need a backup. I've been an electrician since I was born. First thing I did as an infant was stick a knife in the electric socket. So by the time I was 9, I was working as an electrician. By the time I was 26, I had my master's electrician's license in New York City, which means I was born to be an electrician. And the other thing I did was I was an artist, you know, sold big time in New York City. And the third thing I did was still art. I was a newspaper, a photojournalist. So, and I could cook. I could do a lot of things. I pleasured older women. You know, you need a large career thing. So let's see the palm you write with. So you're a pretty honest girl. Little passive aggressive. You don't really act out though. You just think, I want to kill them. How would I kill them? Boiling in oil? Not good enough. Let's see this side of your hand. So you're a very smart young lady. But what's better than your book smarts, which you're pretty good at? I mean, you can do well in school. It's not a big deal for you. But you have a really good gut. But you have kind of, people told you that, oh, that's just a gut. No, book. Go for your gut. Did you ever learn how to meditate?
A little bit, but I kind of stopped doing it.
Well, it's something you should do. I do it 50 times a day.
50?
50.
Wow.
Well, that's what keeps me alive. I should be dead. My endocrinologist says I'm the healthiest dead guy he's ever known. I've died 7 times.
7? Wow.
Had 3, you know, when you die and you get to pass what you've done this life, they kind of, right? You know, life review, they call it. I had 3 of those. You keep sending me back. I haven't finished.
What is life?
So you got your smartphone?
I don't want to use it.
So if you can remember this, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Owlbot.
Dreamy Dreamland?
With Sensei Owlbot. Right now we've got a live show going. This is there's the band playing. Yeah, so this is one of the places I play.
Okay.
So when are you out of here? Out of
I've been here in an hour.
what you need to do? Do you have any teachers that you see as your mentor or someone who cares about you, looks out for you, right? Tell them you want to. So you got like 3 semesters left, this one included, right? Tell them you want to go some like Europe or Japan for your next semester and study how they do psychology there. And that will change your life. When I was a freshman, and I was already I was a Broadway lighting designer, and I was a freshman in theater school, and I was already doing it. The Juilliard, all the people who my teachers were like, I hate this kid. He's doing a job I wish I had. I only was there because I didn't want to die in Vietnam. So I basically took off. Um, I couldn't stand being in school. This is the truth, right? I kept having really good girlfriends, and then finding they were gay, or getting whipped by rich men and taking the money with them, like, things like that. So they sent me off to Ireland, and I studied at Trinity College in Dublin, the oldest university in the world. I mean, it's been going for consecutively for 3,000 years, and a good chunk of library at the Greek guy, Alexandria, is there. So I was reading ancient texts. So that's what you could be doing. And if you read the Greeks, they invented psychology. All of the things that are, what's the book that tells you what stupid shit you are and then what pill to give you? The the DSM. The Greeks wrote that. But it was poetry and also plays. You ever read Euripides?
I have not.
Read, he's the first ring.
I saw you too.
So I used to do this in college and get paid for it. I said, I used to do this in college, but I used to irritate too many people. I'd come to school dressed in my pajamas. I'd never teach out of the textbook. And how can I'd smoke pot in class.
University
They like things dead.
Yeah.
So what's astrological sign are you?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, you'll make a great shrink. They control the world.
Yeah.
Just don't lose your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Hang out with more Aquarians. They're just right next to you,
Yeah, my cousin's an Aquarian.
and you get along with them, right?
We do most of the time.
Like on a certain kind of
Yes.
certain thing. They're too messy. That kind of drives you nuts.
She drives me nuts a little bit.
Right.
I
But
probably drive her nuts.
but no. She can reflect on you where you get annoyed.
Yeah.
She reflects, you get annoyed.
That's probably.
Like I said, passive aggressive, but
Yeah. You got that one right.
no, don't smoke cigarettes, don't do drugs, or don't drink alcohol. Don't do any of those. Capricorns can't handle it. Anyway, so how was that? Oh, 3 thumbs up. You like that? So that's 17 minutes. That was I lassoed one person in. The other kids ran away. So here it is in New Year's. What did your kids do for New Year's? Have any fun? Me, I was in a man cave and read and wrote. I'm trying to pull my novels together. Jenny, have I sent you any of my novels? I'll try and send you. You've sent me, let's see. Anyone wants to send me something in the old PayPal, good time to do it. And that's the dude842 at Gmail. I'm going to check my little email here. Okay. I still haven't figured out how to figure out who's on my email, except to go to something that I want to forward someone, and then I can see Jane. Let's see, Jane, you're there. Yeah, there you are, Jane Tones. Yeah. So I'll send you one of my novels, Jane. Right? Anybody, I'll send you a novel. Right? Anybody in publishing? I'd love to get this stuff. I got these 5 books. Oh, X-Rated. If you can go to xratted.blogspot.com. I think you might, and that's when I started posting them up on that. I don't know if it still exists. I think, Google bought them out, and the nice way it used to be isn't that way anymore. But it might be there. Who knows, right? So, Again, anybody want to send something to the old PayPal, dudewake42 want to send me an email and we start a conversation, dudewake42 dudewake42 Oh, here it is, 20 minutes and it gets to 20 seconds. I will say, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al-Bob. I am your Sensei Al-Bob, here to tell you a story. And so I could go on and on about the military-industrial complex. I could go on about Mr. Globaloni. Just go to dark journalism. Let's see.
Reverend Double Doctor
This is my new
Bobby Whiteness
whiteness owl.
Sensei Guru
Yeah,
Griot.
Yes, I was trying to get that out. It's like a brick coming out. It's my new Noom de Plume.
Perhaps I have won the awards because of my talent and my work ethic, but because I don't want to sit anybody back on their heels, I'll put my trophies, somewhat away. And if someone asks, sure, I'll show them. But, if they ask, and it's just bananas to me that Whitney Houston, the voice of the 20th century, was doing the same. You're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR. I'm Brittany Luce, and this is a conversation between former guest host Juana Summers and author Danielle Smith about the impact of Black women in the pop landscape. You have talked so much in this book and in this conversation about the ways in which Black women's contributions have been unvalued, how our achievements are often erased. And the limits of that do not stop with the music industry, but you also make this point in this book that we can't continue to linger and live and be held back by the fear of that erasure. So I guess I'm curious how you have gotten to that point, because it's really easy to be mad about a lot of this, right? To be frustrated about the things that these women were denied and deprived of. How did you?
We've all been erased. I mean, the only characters in the movie script is white men, right? They're the heroes. They're the people who, look at Thomas Alva Edison, and he was a moron, right? He just knew how to steal, right? People who, Elon Musk, he just knows how to steal. He's the Edison of our time. We haven't quite had a Tesla yet. There are many individual people out there who do amazing things and don't really get any credit, right? And or representation, or that's why I moved around so much. I went to places that, oh, you can do that? Oh, sure, come here, kid. I would do it. Wow, you did a great job. Here's a bunch of money. And I would never work for anybody. I was a contract boy, right? So I would get paid my due. But, well, we would love to have you part of the club. You want to join the club? Here, sign here, prick your finger, put the blood in the box. I said, no, thank you. Well, oh, sorry, can't help you. Maybe if we have another gig like this, we call you, but otherwise, get lost. So that was pretty much it. So I got to see things. I got to have adventures. I got to have a life. And so having a life, as that young lady said, boy, that was a wonderful life. Really just covered a little bit, right? So the real question is, what are you doing with your life? Here it is, day 2, the first day of your life, right? 2023. The real crazy year is going to be 24. And then 30, well, no, 36. And then 30. Because we keep hitting these branches, right? And 2012 was a big branch, right? You know, part of our universe went that way, and we went this way. And we're getting more and more isolated. And James Webb is up there at L2 of a Lagrange point. That's what they call it. That's you stick something there, it's not going nowhere. It's like caught between everybody's gravity. So, and it's right behind. It's in the shadow of the moon, so it's cold, cold, cold. Never sees the sun of light, or the light of sun, or whatever. So, because in space, you're either really toasty or really warm. Cold, 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 cold. And so this year, like, I started talking about the big splat 3 years ago, right? Pretty much everything I was saying came, go back and look at some of those. I talked about, in 2017, I was talking about, that's when I was studying SARS-1, right? COVID, right? What's the COVID virus, right? And I said, this is a manufactured, really nasty. This is nasty as it gets. This gets out. Very communicable, very deadly, right? And then SARS-2 came out, very close to SARS-1, but a little different. And its mutation, it came out pretty heavy duty. It probably wiped a lot of people out in China that weren't really told, we weren't told about. And it kind of set, it's interesting how India is now becoming the most populated country in the world, not China anymore, right? And India is also, we're the biggest democracy in the world. They're a democracy. They're a transgendered, yes, Modi, transgendered. He's really trans-species, is really what Modi is, trans-species. Oh, a little bit of that English reptile rubbed off on his family years ago. So what can I say? La 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 la. So la 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 la. So 28 minutes. Yeah. So what are you guys doing for the New Year's? How are you going to change the world? Right? So when it was Christmas, what did you get for baby Jesus? So these are all good questions, right? Joey to receiving. Joey. Pretty much everybody I know that their first name and they are male, and their name ends in Y. Joey, Kenny, Larry, Billy, Bobby, Tommy, Timmy, Tony, all those Y's are basic losers. Don't want to break it to you guys. Now, if you're Timothy, not a loser. Thomas, not a loser. Lawrence, not a loser. So if you're Lawrence, don't let them call you Larry. Lawrence of Arabia, never let them call him Larry of Arabia. Timothy Hutchins was never Timmy Hutchins. No. These guys know that. It's the kiss of death. Right? Unless it's, something Albie, that's not Timmy, Albie. When you got to do this, Albie. Anyway, I diverge. Oh, look, it's going to be 30 minutes and 30 seconds. So remember, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Bob. I would suggest you start looking at my other shows. Jane, start putting them on hard drives. Start putting them on CD-ROMs. Start putting them on thumb drives, because I have no history of any of this. Dragon used to do it until the unmentionable one stole them, and then stole letters that Dragon sent me, and then the unmentionable started mentioning about personal things. So Dragon got a little upset with me. Not really my fault. The unmentionable, everything he does is mine. Get out! The unmentionable, right? And so go and look at all the past shows. Right? It's interesting, all of the unmentionable shows that are on his channel, except for the Ronald McDonald Moron video, they're all mine, right? Everything I ever did on his channel went viral, right? Maybe 3 of you guys watch the show, right? Mantis Moza, hello, brother. I hope you are well. I wish you good journeys this new year. Thanks, Mantis. Mozoris. I like that. Mozoris. Anyway, so anyone want to send something to PayPal? Your Sensei Al Bob sure could use a little cash infusion. So my heart goes pitter patter when I see, the $10 sign, and then I look at more of the message from PayPal that says, "No, you get $10 off of your next." Yep, I hear it. Gone. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, what time is it? Oh, it's not noon yet. The day is still young. Well, I'm going to jump off here and make contact with Bigfoot. Oh, sure. I got a great Bigfoot story for you. They kind of, way back in my younger days, when I was in my 20s, I was out in New Mexico in the Four Corners area, and I worked in a nuclear mining area near Grants, and I worked in Los Alamos, Sandias, Kirkland Air Force Base, R4, and a few other unknown spots, creating exotic power supplies. And the mine, I was at Mount Taylor, world's deepest uranium mine. And Mount Taylor is the Hopi's most sacred geographic spot. They call it the Snake Goddess. And one of their little Hopi prophecies, if you mess with that, that's the end of your people. So, in 1969, they started digging like a dentist straight down into where they were basically pulling straight plutonium out of the, it was like a natural reactor down there. And so I worked on bringing in the high voltage in that place and setting transformers down below, and they were building a dome. Not only they were going after that and other exotic minerals that were down there, right? Because it was an exotic environment. No, duh, sacred mountain, duh. Anyway, I only went down in the caves twice, right? And the first time I went down there, I was way in the outback corridors of this thing. And, I had to first time I went down and take a little safety test. Yeah, if you hear the horn, get to the elevator. If you're too far away, get on the emergency phone. Make sure you have your yellow button. So before you went down the elevator, there's this board with 2 yellow buttons, right? And numbers on, right? And they would put this yellow button on you, write your name down on the ledger of what number that was. I was number 22. And went down 900 feet, then got on a little railroad train, and it took me way miles from the elevator, right? And there was the transformer in its box set on its perch. I took the cardboard off. High voltage lines were there. I had checked and made sure they weren't hot at the top, and put tape all over it, and put a lock on the switch and on the 5 switches that were there that fed this thing, and made sure that no one was going to turn that sucker on. So I took the elevator down, had my little yellow button, took the train all the way down to the end of the cul-de-sac, was working on it, and and it said, when you hear the thing, go to the elevator. And whatever's period of time between the first time you hear it and the second time you hear it, that's how much time you got till you're going to blow something up. Right? And they would take everybody out of it. So, because even if you weren't near the explosion, it's people like me at the end of the cul-de-sac, the pressure would be, bust every, my eyeballs, my eardrums, you name it. And little girl holding a baby dog, getting ready. So I'm down there, and I look around. There's a red phone. Sign above it says, emergency phone. I picked up the phone. Phone dropped, and the phone dropped on the floor, and there was a little curly thing that went to the handset, and the other wire went to nowhere. I just had stuck it on the ledge and put a sign said emergency phone. It was bright red, but the wire didn't go anywhere. It was clipped, right? So I'm not calling the office. And so I'm looking around, and then maybe 5 minutes are going by and going, I'm fucked. It's like miles away. The train ain't here. They have no idea because I got the yellow button, but they're doing this thing. And so I'm looking around. I see a couple of pallets of concrete bags, right? They were each about 70 pounds, right? So I thought, I'm going to make myself a little igloo out of these bags, So I have no idea what it is, but this will be some level of protection. So I start, then I go, and that means, it's getting shorter period. And it just took me all the energy I had to move one stupid bag of concrete. Turned around, this hairy thing just kind of brushed me. Boom, 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 boom. And within like 2 minutes, there was a very nice, concrete bag igloo, right? And a couple bags on the inside, and they went like, go ahead in. I went in. 2 of them, the little ones, got in with me, and they kind of rolled me in a ball. They took my clothes off, rolled it around my head and around my nuts, and then rolled me up in them. And then the big guys closed up and then put more people. We heard boom, 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 boom. And then, and now the explosion was coming any second now. And then all of a sudden, boom, and everything shut. And this kind of pressure came in and went out. And I'm sure I would have, even if but being rolled up, and youngster Bigfoot was the saving, because they put me in another dimension right at that moment. And then on the outside, boom, boom. I hear these guys taking the bags out of the doorway, and I look up, and they are like white as a ghost, white as a sheet. Of their brown, dark hair is all turned white. And I look at my skin, and everything that's not covered with my clothes was white, meaning the pressure of the dust was so intense it went, the dust on the inside of our igloo kind of covered me and like pressured it into my skin, right? And they had the same thing, and they thought it was funny. They were like pointing at me, going, and so they basically, I put my clothes back on, and I got on the back of this one guy, and he ran towards the elevator, right? And then before anybody showed up, he let me go and gave me a kiss on each cheek. And before I could turn around, he was gone. And then about a minute, the elevator came down, and there I was, right? And even though I was wearing my clothes, my arms were all white, and I had a line that the clothes wrapped around my head, kind of. So my chin and neck were white. This was regular. And when I say white, I mean whiter than that, right? So that's the first Bigfoot I saw. Now there are other feelings of Bigfoot. I was upstate New York with my uncle Leo, who was a full Mohawk, and he was chief of police of 3 counties. And we rode around and we saw weird stuff. He showed me weird stuff. Upstate New York has a lot of weird stuff because the ley line of Appalachia goes right through there, and it's kind of brushed by the same ley line of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and they have different names. Those are just what white people name them. So anyway, I had 3 thumbs up, and now one gets taken away. Really? I don't know. Let's see. Yep. Through their hair, as you understand. Yep. So I met them many times, and 2 more times when I was out there, because I stumbled literally on top of Grandfather David, the chief spirit guide, keeper of the Hopi prophecies. His farm was just on the other side of the mountain where he couldn't see the mining. And so I was walking on the other side of the mountain. There was no lights. That building site was lit up with like stadium lights 24/7. It had like 8, not just 3 shifts. It like never slept, and never dark. One night I just couldn't take it, and so I kind of walked around the mountain and stumbled on top. I was just walking through the sagebrush, looking straight. There was no moon, just stars, no light from the mining sites, and it was darker than dark. It was like Vincent Van Gogh stars. Thank you for those 2 more thumbs up. And I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm out in the middle of an open mesa that's like 40 miles this way, 40 miles that way, and I boom! I've been walking for about an hour. Boom! I fall down. I hear this little guy, get off me, get off me, get off me! And I pick up this, let me go! And it's this little guy, right? And look at him, and he looks at me. He kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, "So you work over in that mine, don't you? Can't stand you, can you? It's death, isn't it?" So you came around here first time, right? Star's pretty amazing. You're looking straight up, right? Then you fell on top of me. Look around. 40 miles in any direction. I was doing the same thing. See that little teeny light over there? That's where I live. I was taking a walk straight over here. Just so I'd look at the stars. I was looking straight up, stumbling through the sagebrush, just like you were. And you fell on top of me. The odds of that, or we should have been like 2 ships in the night, never seeing each other. Look at all, this is like 200 square miles, and you fall on top of me. Obviously, the great maker wanted us to be together, and that was, the first of my great teachers, David, may have been. So he says, "You're not living in that place anymore. You're coming to live. I have a nice camper you can live in." He did. And it was towards the end of winter. I still got 2 bottles of heat in that camper, so you can go there. And I got this little motorcycle. You can ride to work, right? We get, you can still work there. They're paying you a lot of money. But I'm going to teach you. It's obviously, I've been looking for a student for the last 50 years. You're it. Tag, you're it. How do you think I got this way? I've had a number of David teachers, a number of Adam teachers, a number of sensei teachers, and a number of master teachers. Right? Yep. So, Mantis, give me a buzz. Drop me an email at my dudeawake42 at gmail so we can have a private conversation. I'd like to talk to you. And if you're in America, you can get your phone number. Anyway, what else is going on? Where I live, there is no internet, there is no TV, a little bit of radio, and my phone is it's the Virgin Mary has to be giving me a lap dance for my phone to work, and that's all good. She's really good at that. It's like Madonna. That'll be a miracle if the next song is Madonna, like a virgin. Right? Then I know today I have a lottery ticket. So anyway, and they have good meatball subs here. They are. Yeah. So, little one, do you have older brothers and sisters? You're the only one. Well, the only baby you should be carrying around is that one. Yeah, that's the only one. At least for another 15 years. Yeah, at least. 35 is a good age. Then. My mom had me when she was 50.
Wow.
And that was 1950. Yes. She was in the stirrups having a martini and smoking a cigarette. And so were the doctors. They're not that much evolved above that. There are more women in it now than guys, but that was an eventful day. I came out sideways. Yeah. Anyway, let's see, what else can we say?
Rhoda, you have a phone call on line 101 for customer assistance. Rhoda, you have a phone call on line 101 for customer assistance.
Yep. I don't want a commercial. And my phones are just 100% commercials. No matter what I look, the weather commercial. I don't want to listen to stuff I've recorded, a commercial. So the internet is going down this year, right? And just think how that'll be for the supply chain. And probably won't be any electricity too. I mean, this little weather anomaly we had probably darkened probably maybe 30 million people's homes and businesses. Right? And now we're having floods. California having some serious flooding. So the internet's going away totally, never to come back. That's why I'm telling everybody, start putting this stuff on thumb drives and CD-ROMs and hard drives, because this shit. And me, I did this as a service to you, right? Each is a shamanic ceremony, and totally energized with love's co-creation, right? Nothing like, oh, mommy didn't do this for me, and daddy is terrible, and I've been all that matters is my blah blah blah, and I'm an A-lister, and I've been doing this with my whole sorry, no. Everything I've done has been fun, and I have photos to prove it. But really, our lives are about what's right in front of us, not what's behind, right? But Each of these shows, almost 2,000 shows, are highly saturated with tools and understanding and love that will get you through anything, right? So, internet, see you later, bye. Which will be replaced relatively quickly by Elon Musk internet. He's got all those satellites up in low Earth orbit, right? He's going to give everyone on Earth their own smartphone, right? It'll be like having, like how Tony Snark, Iron Man boy, has all those robots he can talk to, and they do everything. I mean, it kind of Google's almost that way, but Elon Musk world will be that, and he will be the Amazon. He will be taking us to Mars. He will be that, right? But he will be that creature from Twilight Zone that landed on the front lawn of the UN, and they were the Canamets, cannibals, the nice young cannibals, really tall. They were lurch, right? In a white robe, and they gave a book to the UN. It said "To serve man," right? And this one guy was trying to break their language. They wrote the title in English, but um, the rest of the book was in an undecipherable language of the Canamedes, right? And should have known, Canamede, that's like cannibal in another language. And that's Elon Musk is that guy, right? To serve man. Right? So good luck with that. Thing is not to buy. I got enough safety pins to last me a long time, right? So again, anybody wants to get a hold of me, the dudewake42 at Gmail. Want to send some to PayPal? That'd be great. Dudewake42 at Gmail. Seems to work. Anyone who sent me any cash has basically said that it worked. So, and we're not talking about big sums here. No one sent me. Be nice. It'd be real nice if somebody wanted to publish these novels. This series, X-Razed, X-R-A-Z-T-E-D-Z, whatever, however I spell X-Razed. How did I spell X-Razed? No, not up there. So anyway, it's 52. When it hits 52:52, I will say goodnight, Gracie, and go on and do my other errands. Got people to see, things to do. Maybe tomorrow I will get a hold of you. Maybe. Who knows, right? It's catch as catch can. Love you guys. Stay well. Good to meet you, Mr. Mozars. I think we've met before. Not before. So he is not for transhumanism. Who knows?